Hey everyone, and welcome. So today, we're going to tackle one of the most important verbs in English, but also one of the trickiest. Yeah, I'm talking about to do. But stick with me, because by the end of this, you are going to be using it with total confidence. Let's jump right in.
So does this look a little familiar? Do, does, did, done, If your head is spinning trying to figure out which one to use and when, you are so not alone. Seriously, it's one of the most common hurdles for English learners, and today we're going to clear it for good.
And here's the good news. It's actually not as random as it seems. There's a real logic to it. We're just going to break it all down step by step and turn all that confusion into clarity. You ready? Let's do it. Okay, first things first. Before we get tangled up in all the different forms and rules, let's just ask the most basic question. What are we actually saying when we use the verb to do? At its heart, to do is all about action. It just means to perform something, to carry something out, to get something accomplished. Think of it as the ultimate get-it-done verb. Simple as that. Now we can start building our foundation. See, the way to do looks and sounds changes depending on when the action is happening. But the great thing is, we really only need to get a handle on 3 key forms to cover pretty much every situation you'll run into. Let's start with what's happening right now, the present simple. There's just one tiny change you gotta remember. For I, you, we, and they, we use do. Easy. But for he, she, or it, that's when we add an es and it becomes does. So I do my homework, but she does her job well. That's the main rule for the present tense. And now for some fantastic news. The past tense is way simpler. It doesn't matter who did the action, I, you, he, she, we, they. It's always, always did. I did my homework yesterday. They did a good job. See? One word fits all. So much easier. Okay, our third and final form is done. This is the past participle. Now, listen up, because this part is crucial. Done almost never shows up by itself. It needs a little buddy, a helping verb, usually have, has, or had. So you'd never say, I done my work. Nope, you'd say, I have done my work. All right, on to the next big idea. This verb to do is a real workhorse. It actually has 2 completely different jobs it can do in a sentence. It can be the main verb, the star of the show, or it can be what we call an auxiliary or helper verb. Getting this difference is the real secret to using it correctly. So let's look at that first job, being the main action verb. This is when the action in the sentence is literally the act of doing something. For example, when you say, I do my homework, the main action is do. Or in he does sport every day, the action is does. And in we did our best, the action is did. In every single one of these, it's front and center, it's the star. But what about its second job? This is where people sometimes get tripped up. Here, to do isn't the main event. Instead, it's a helper that gives us the power to ask questions and make negative sentences. It's a total game changer for our grammar. And lucky for us, there's a super simple formula for asking questions. You just start with the right form, do, does, or did. Then you add the subject, and finally, and this is the really important bit, you add the main verb in its original, stripped-down base form. Let's see how that looks. Do you like coffee? Does she work here? Did you finish the work? You see? In those sentences, the real actions are like, work, and finish. Do, does, and did are just the helpers that make it a question. It's the exact same idea for making sentences negative. We just slide the word not right after our helper verb. I do not like coffee. She does not work here. For the past, I did not understand. And of course, in everyday conversation, we smush those together to make don't, doesn't, and didn't. Okay, everybody, if you only remember one single thing from this whole explainer, please let it be this. This right here is the golden rule. When do, does, or did is being a helper, the main verb that comes after it always snaps back to its original base form. No S on the end, no ED, nothing. Just the plain, simple verb. This will save you so much trouble. We have covered a lot. So, before we wrap up, let's pull everything together into a quick and easy cheat sheet. This will help lock it all into your brain. First up, just listen to some of these super common phrases. We do homework, we do a job, we do business, we do our best. Just hearing how these phrases flow helps you get a natural feel for when to use do as the main action.
And here it is, the entire lesson in one little list. Do and does for the present, did for the past, done always needs a helper like have or has. And remember its two big jobs, main action verb and helper verb. That's the whole shebang right there.
And that's it. Congratulations. You've just taken apart one of the most essential verbs in English and put it back together. These aren't just boring rules. These are the actual building blocks you need to speak and write with a whole lot more confidence.
So, the only question left is, now that you know the rules, what are you going to do next? The absolute best thing you can do is go out there and actually use it. Thanks so much for joining me.